time to talk some Mariners baseball now as they get ready to wrap things up in Minnesota. They bang out 12 hits last night in a 7-1 win over those Twins. Some standout performances in that game, Chris. I mean, Julio, Naylor, and Cole Young each with 3 hits. Just it's funny how each night a different guy or two comes to the picnic.
Well, Paul, we sat here on this show, and I think a lot of people mocked me for saying, just get the bats out and let's just start hitting. Just hit hard. They hang it, you bang it. And we're starting to see that right now, especially from the big 3. Josh Naylor, 3 for 5 in this game. Julio Rodriguez, 3 doubles in this game. We mentioned the rise of the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. He didn't have huge numbers in yesterday's game, but his numbers are on the rise. How about Naylor, Paul? Last 9 games, 15 for 33. That's a .455 batting average. I repeat, .455 batting average. You don't even see that in beer league softball right now. I mean, Naylor is starting to rock. And, Paul, you know, who's been most impressive for me? Your second baseman. It's a position that over the last 20 years, everybody's sitting there, who's going to play second for the Mariners? Who's going to play second for the Mariners? Cole Young is becoming a star in front of our eyes, Paul. What Cole Young is doing last 12 games, I think he's batting .372. There it is right there. .372 in his last 12 games, an RBI in 5 straight games. And, Paul, these just aren't RBIs. These are clutch RBIs. I mean, he's got, you know, we used to joke about Alex Rodriguez sometimes would get home runs in the 9th inning, 8th inning when they're down like 10 runs. Cole Young is coming through in the clutch right now.
You know, we talked about Cole Young, 3 for 4 last night, and he's hitting .372 over his last 12 games. Here's Dan Wilson loving what he's seeing from Young.
We've talked about that a lot. You know, when he's using the whole field, that's everything. And you know, Randy's been using the whole field, Julio using the whole field, and you know, a lot of our guys really have used, you know, the whole field. You know, using the middle of the field, especially in those RBI situations, and you know, that's a really good sign.
You know, you talk about Dan Wilson, the fact that they always talk about getting traffic on the bases, and to have guys come through with the traffic out there is huge. Cole Young, one of those guys, you waxed on about Julio and Naylor. I mean, you know, one thing, a guy has a big night the night before, and this man comes out wearing a batting helmet. You know, if he has a good defensive game, Chris is going to bring out his ball glove from the old softball league. So, but again, I like the props that he brings to the program. We had to take the hat off him, though, because we couldn't quite see his eyes when he was wearing that helmet. But Chris, you know, I know how much you enjoy watching Mariners baseball. You had to like what you've seen on this road trip, sweeping the Cardinals, and can take 2 out of 3 from the Twins if they can win this afternoon.
Well, you go back a week ago, Paul, there was some concern, but we talked about, hey, we're only in April. You know what? You get to the All-Star break, if you're down 10 games, then you hit the panic button. We talked about the American League West. We played the soundbite on this show last Friday. You can go back and check it out. It was Josh Naylor saying, yeah, we're not where we need to be, but we're fine. You know, guys are talking. We're going to get going here. And they definitely are. You know, each player has looked at themselves in the mirror. They put together better at-bats. And, Paul, you mentioned that word traffic. It's a word Dan Wilson has used quite a bit. We're getting the traffic. We just weren't driving in the runs early on in the season. Now they're continuing to get the traffic. Now they're coming through with clutch base hits. We see Cole Young. We see Josh Naylor, Cal Raleigh. We're starting to see Ref Snyder, you know, in key situations with left-handed pitchers in there coming through with some clutch base hits. He did in St. Louis. Will they continue? You know, that's the thing about baseball, Paul. We could be all jacked up and high-fiving each other today. Tomorrow could be a different day. But one thing that remains consistent on this Mariners ball club until Luis Castillo's pitching is the starting pitching. And Logan Gilbert, Paul, gave up only 1 run in 5 innings of work. I thought Gilbert was phenomenal last night, Paul.
Yeah, and, you know, the one nice thing about Gilbert is he's a guy who likes to eat up innings. He prides himself on going over 200 innings a season. He likes to go out there and put the work in. He doesn't want to come out early for sure. No pitcher wants to come out early. But we saw Gilbert last night struggle a bit in a couple innings, and he really had to bear down and get some work in, and he got himself out of a few jams.
Way to finish, to get out of runners on, stuff like that. It's always good, and when you need to make a big pitch, being able to find that with guys on base. So I mean, I think there are a lot of positives. You can always, focus on a couple things you want to do better, but I think in this game you got to take the positives and move to the next start. So, like I said, I thought I made some big pitches, and bullpen did really, really great behind me. So that was great to see, and then the offense at the end. So it's a good game.
Logan Gilbert just transitioned where I wanted to go, Paul. He talks about that bullpen. I got to look at my numbers here. They retired the last 12 Twins hitters last night. Bullpen seems to be coming together nicely here. They had some rough moments early on in this season, but we're starting to see when those high leverage guys get out there, it is lights out. Logan Gilbert, who we see there, great job getting out of jams. But Paul, who you need to fall in love with right now, if you're not in love with him already, I need a heart. Put up a heart for Matt Brash. Matt Brash, you've got my heart right now. You are pitching lights out, my friend.
What kind of show
Paul,
is
I got
this?
A man crush right now on Matty Brash. That slider is moving. It is a sexy pitch right now, Paul. Matt Brash, 2-0. Paul, yeah, that is not Joel Knipp making an error on the graphics. That is a 0.00 ERA. You don't see that, Paul. Come on. He is the only pitcher in baseball now. Everybody watching, knock on wood with me. Find some real wood, too. All right? 11 innings, 11 and a third innings. He has not given up 1 run, only 3 hits allowed. Are you kidding me, Paul? That's who you want in your bullpen right there.
Yeah, I think the great thing about Brash is he's finally healthy, man. I mean, there were just a couple of seasons there. We just kept working through injuries. Nothing was just going his way consistently. And now we see him on the mound, and he's off to a great start this season. Great health, and we love to see that. And the one thing you talk about with this Mariners team is no matter how bad the bats get or the nights that they go into a slumber, you can always count, as you just talked about, Chris, on their pitching staff, man. Yeah. With the starting rotation, the bullpen, you're in every game when you have arms like that.
Yeah, and the other thing, Paul, they're doing this, and they're starting to get the traffic and coming through with hits. And we haven't even mentioned who was the star on this Mariners team when things were tough early on. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not Dan Wilson. It was Brendan Donovan. and I know Dan Wilson talked about Donovan is possibly somebody we could be seeing sooner than later right now. So that's good news as well.
Well, that's a great picture of Dan Wilson back in his playing days. All right, the Mariners wrap up their series with the Twins today. They're back home for a weekend series against the Royals where they could put up a few more wins because the Royals are struggling.
Yeah, it should be a great series for the Mariners coming home. I mean, Paul, the weather's going to be in the 80s. No marine,
forecast is
no marine layer at T-Mobile Park. And everybody watching the show, get out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but put on your calendar Monday. As we speak right now, on Monday, I believe the Mariners are set to face off against Ian Ritchie, a.k.a. J.R. Ritchie from Bainbridge Island. That's going to be fun as well.